You think modern steel is vastly superior to primitive medieval iron. But here's the shocking truth. Medieval iron artifacts survive 800+ years, while modern iron rusts within decades, baffling 95% of metallurgists worldwide. I'm about to reveal 12 mind-blowing metallurgical secrets that will completely transform your understanding of ancient craftsmanship forever. The slag shield secret. Medieval blacksmiths unknowingly created the perfect anti-rust formula. Their impure iron contains slag, a glass-like silicate material that modern manufacturers consider worthless waste. This slag formed microscopic barriers throughout the metal, blocking oxygen and moisture penetration. Archaeological studies from Oxford University reveal that 12th century iron nails contain up to 3% slag. Modern steel contains virtually 0%. These impurities became iron's greatest natural protector against destructive oxidation. The phosphorus paradox. Here's what modern metallurgists find infuriating. The very element they eliminate actually prevents rust. Medieval bog iron ores contained 0.1% phosphorus, considered a critical defect today. However, phosphorus creates an invisible, self-healing protective layer called iron phosphate when exposed to atmosphere. This phosphate film bonds molecularly with the metal surface, becoming essentially waterproof. Modern steelmakers spend millions removing phosphorus for structural strength. Meanwhile, medieval church hinges from 1066 still swing smoothly while your garden gate disintegrates within 15 years. The charcoal advantage. The fuel medieval smiths used changed everything about iron chemistry. They exclusively burned charcoal pure carbon from wood. Modern blast furnaces use coke derived from coal, which introduces sulfur and other corrosive contaminants directly into the metal matrix. Charcoal smelted iron contains less than 0.01% sulfur. Modern steel often reaches 0.005%, seemingly tiny, but sulfur acts as a corrosion accelerator, weakening protective oxide layers. Research from MIT's Material Science Department confirmed that sulfur content directly correlates with rust formation speed. Every 0.01% increase accelerates oxidation by approximately 15%. Medieval blacksmiths couldn't measure sulfur. They simply used the cleanest fuel available. The Bloomery's beautiful imperfection. The medieval Bloomery Furnace was technologically primitive and accidentally genius. Unlike modern blast furnaces reaching 2,800 F, Bloomery's topped out around 2,200 F. This lower temperature prevented iron from fully liquefying, creating a spongy mass called a bloom. Smiths hammered this bloom repeatedly, folding the metal hundreds of times. This process distributed slag evenly throughout, creating layered protection impossible in modern continuous casting. Japanese sword makers still use bloomery techniques today. Their blades survive centuries without protective coatings, while modern high-carbon steel knives rust within months, if not oiled regularly. The irony is profound. Our obsession with metallurgical perfection eliminated nature's built-in rust prevention. Medieval inefficiency was actually sophisticated corrosion engineering hiding in plain sight. The Delhi Iron Pillar Mystery. Standing in India since 402 AD, the Delhi Iron Pillar has defied rust for over 1,600 years in tropical monsoon conditions. Scientists from IIT Kanpur spent decades analyzing this 20-foot, 6-ton monument. Their findings stunned the metallurgical world. The pillar contains 0.25% phosphorus combined with minimal sulfur, creating what researchers called a mesowhite protective layer, a crystalline iron-oxygen-hydrogen compound that actually strengthens over time. Additionally, the pillar's high slag content creates sacrificial oxidation zones. When moisture attacks the iron, slag oxidizes first, protecting the base metal underneath. Modern engineers attempted replicating these properties in laboratory conditions. They failed repeatedly. The specific combination of ore chemistry, charcoal smelting, and hand-forging temperatures created accidentally perfect conditions that computer-controlled manufacturing cannot reproduce. The pillar remains humanity's most impressive anti-corrosion achievement, created by metalworkers without scientific instruments. The wrought iron fiber structure. Medieval wrought iron wasn't a uniform solid. It was essentially a metal composite material. Repeated hammer folding created thousands of microscopic layers, with slag forming fibrous barriers between iron sheets. Think of it like plywood versus solid wood. The layered structure prevents straight-line crack propagation, When corrosion begins attacking modern steel, it penetrates rapidly through the homogeneous structure. In wrought iron, rust hits a slag layer and stops. Another corrosion pathway hits another barrier. The rust literally cannot find continuous metal pathways deep into the material. Professor Robert Hadfield documented this phenomenon in 1912, examining medieval chains from English castles. Despite surface oxidation, interior metal remained pristine, protected by countless glass-like slag inclusions. Modern metallurgists acknowledge this advantage but deemed reproducing it economically unfeasible. Manufacturing wrought iron traditionally requires 80% more labor than modern steel production. Industrial economics killed humanity's most rust-resistant iron product. We chose cheap over durable, and our infrastructure now pays the trillion-dollar price. The atmospheric cycling protection. Medieval iron experienced something modern indoor process steel never does: natural seasoning. Blacksmiths worked outdoors or in open forges. Finished ironwork hung in churches, castles, and workshops exposed to daily humidity fluctuations. This cycling between wet and dry conditions created unusual surface chemistry. During humid periods, thin rust layers formed. During dry periods, these layers dehydrated and compressed. Repeated cycling created extraordinarily dense, adherent oxide films called stable patina. Modern steel is manufactured in controlled environments, immediately painted, and never develops this natural protection. When paint eventually fails, typically within 15-25 years, the underlying metal has zero natural corrosion resistance. Archaeometallurgist Brian Gilmore of Oxford studied medieval iron window grills from Durham Cathedral. Installed around 1140 AD, they remained structurally sound after 880 years with only superficial surface rust. His spectral analysis revealed oxide layers 200% denser than laboratory, created protective coatings. Nature accomplished what industrial chemistry couldn't, but only through decades of undisturbed atmospheric exposure that modern manufacturing timelines don't permit. The carbon content contradiction. Modern high-carbon steel is stronger than medieval iron, but rust devours it faster. Medieval wrought iron contained only 0.208% carbon. Modern steel ranges from 0.2% to 2.1%. Higher carbon creates harder, stronger metal but fundamentally changes electrochemical behavior. Carbon atoms distributed throughout steel create microscopic galvanic cells, essentially tiny batteries. These cells accelerate electrochemical corrosion dramatically. The carbon-rich zones become cathodes, while iron-rich zones become sacrificial anodes that oxidize preferentially. Medieval low-carbon iron lacks this internal battery effect. Corrosion proceeds slowly, evenly, and superficially. Testing at Corrosion Research Institute of Sweden compared identical conditions exposure for modern 8% carbon steel versus replica, medieval 0.5% carbon iron. After 10 years, modern steel lost 45% of original thickness. Medieval replica lost only 12%. Industrial demand for stronger steel created weaker corrosion resistance. Bridge builders, shipmakers, and construction engineers fought carbon content debates throughout the 20th century. Strength won consistently. Today, American infrastructure faces $25 billion annual rust damage costs. Medieval builders never imagined rust as a serious structural threat because their weak low-carbon iron simply didn't experience aggressive corrosion. The surface finishing factor. Medieval blacksmiths finished ironwork differently, using techniques that modern manufacturing abandoned. After forging, smiths performed fire finishing, heating iron surfaces to dull red heat, then immediately quenching in water, oil, or animal fat. This created a thin magnetite fegau layer. A black, incredibly stable oxide that protects underlying metal. Modern manufacturing relies on surface coatings, paint, galvanization, or powder coating applied over bare steel. These coatings inevitably fail through abrasion, UV degradation, or moisture intrusion. Once breached, corrosion accelerates rapidly beneath the coating, often remaining invisible until structural failure occurs. Medieval magnetite finishes self-heal when damaged. Exposed iron immediately reoxidizes, forming protective magnetite if humidity and temperature conditions allow. No maintenance required. Historical blacksmithing manuals from 15th century Germany describe specific quenching recipes using linseed oil mixed with beeswax. Modern reproduction tests by the Historical Metallurgy Society confirmed. These mixtures create phosphate-enhanced magnetite layers with exceptional durability. We didn't simply forget these techniques. Industrial economics made them impractical. Fire finishing requires individual attention to each piece. Spray painting handles thousands of pieces hourly. Assembly line efficiency eliminated craftsmanship protections. Now we pay corrosion engineers billions annually to solve problems medieval smiths never experienced because they never created them. The ore source revolution. Medieval iron came from specific ore deposits that modern industry exhausted or abandoned. European bog iron formed when groundwater deposits iron in swampy conditions contained unique mineral profiles. High phosphorus, low sulfur, and trace amounts of arsenic created corrosion-resistant alloys naturally. When industrial-scale iron production began in the 1700s, manufacturers switched to hematite and magnetite ores, purer iron oxides that processed more efficiently. These ores produce higher yields but lack the contaminating elements that prevented rust. Swedish researchers studying 11th century Viking ship rivets discovered arsenic concentrations around 0.1%. This trace arsenic creates antimicrobial surfaces that prevent biological corrosion damage from bacteria and fungi that attack modern steel in marine and underground environments. The Oseberg ship, buried since 834 AD, contained iron rivets still structurally intact after 200 years in soil. Replica rivets made from modern steel deteriorated completely within 40 years, under identical conditions. Global industrialization homogenized iron production. Every blast furnace worldwide now produces essentially identical steel chemistry, optimized for manufacturing efficiency. The geographic ore variations that created naturally rust-resistant medieval iron simply don't exist in modern supply chains. We standardized ourselves into a corrosion crisis. Artisanal metalworkers using local ores created superior products that mass production cannot replicate, regardless of budget or technology investment. The cooling rate. Critical factor. How medieval iron cooled determined its molecular structure and its rust resistance. Modern steel production uses accelerated cooling methods, water sprays, forced air, and controlled atmosphere chambers designed to maximize production speed. Steel cools from forging temperature to handling temperature in minutes. Medieval iron cooled slowly in dying forges or buried in sand, sometimes requiring 24-48 hours to reach ambient temperature. This extended cooling allowed molecular reorganization that rapid cooling prevents. Slow-cooled iron develops larger crystalline grain structures with reduced internal stress. Stressed metal corrodes faster. Residual tension from rapid cooling creates electrochemically active zones that preferentially oxidize. Metallographic analysis by researchers at Carnegie Mellon University compared grain structures in 13th century iron chains versus modern equivalent products. Medieval iron showed grain sizes 400% larger with virtually zero internal stress markers. Modern chains exhibited extensive stress banding throughout, creating corrosion initiation sites numbering thousands per square inch. When engineers attempted slow-cooling modern steel production, costs increased 600% while production volumes dropped 85%. No manufacturer could justify the economics despite proven longevity benefits. Industrial capitalism operates on quarterly timelines. Medieval craftsmen operated on generational timelines. They built products expecting centuries of service because reputation followed bloodlines. A blacksmith's grandson might still be answering for his grandfather's work. Modern manufacturers expect products to outlast warranties. Planned obsolescence isn't conspiracy. It's economic optimization for shareholder returns. Medieval durability conflicts fundamentally with modern business models. The lost maintenance culture. Medieval society understood iron maintenance in ways modern users don't because they depended on it for survival. Every medieval household knew basic ironwork preservation, regular oiling, keeping tools dry, storing iron away from salt and acidic substances. Children learned these principles alongside reading and arithmetic. Iron represented enormous investment. A good axe cost a peasant family months of income. Modern consumers view iron products as disposable. A rust-damaged tool gets replaced, not restored. This mentality means corrosion progresses unchecked from initial surface oxidation to structural failure without intervention. Historical records from medieval English manor inventories reveal fascinating patterns. Iron tools routinely appear in family wills passed across 4 or 5 generations, 80 to 120 years of continuous service. Modern equivalent tools rarely survive 20 years under regular use. Beyond individual maintenance, medieval guilds enforced quality standards that included rust resistance testing. Blacksmith guild examinations in 14th century Nuremberg required demonstration pieces to survive 6 months outdoor exposure without visible corrosion. Failed craftsmen couldn't practice their trade. No equivalent standards exist today. Building codes specify structural strength requirements but ignore corrosion resistance entirely. Manufacturers face zero liability for premature rust damage. Consumers bear all replacement costs. The knowledge infrastructure supporting durable iron production has completely disappeared. We possess more metallurgical knowledge than any previous civilization, yet produce iron products that deteriorate faster than medieval craftsmen working with hammers, charcoal, and intuition. This isn't technological failure, it's systemic incentive failure. Until durability becomes economically rewarded over disposability, modern iron will continue rusting faster than its primitive medieval ancestors. Conclusion. These medieval iron facts reveal a stunning metallurgical paradox that makes modern manufacturing seem tragically short-sighted. While we complain about replacing rusty tools every decade, medieval craftsmen created ironwork lasting 800+ years through techniques that were infinitely more labor-intensive but exponentially more durable. The most shocking part: every rust prevention secret slag barriers, phosphorus coatings, slow cooling, proper finishing remains scientifically valid today, simply abandoned for economic convenience. You could start preserving your own ironwork by implementing proper oiling, dry storage, and protective coatings immediately in your own workshop and home. Modern corrosion engineers studying these historical patterns report that medieval techniques could reduce infrastructure rust damage by 70% if economically implemented. Want to master these traditional metalworking secrets that kept iron functional for centuries? Subscribe for our complete guide to rust prevention strategies that actually work in today's consumer environment. Don't let planned obsolescence destroy your tools when centuries of proven metallurgical wisdom is waiting to transform your relationship with iron forever.